Hi everyone, welcome to our crafting day. My name is Dabney. I'm the young adult librarian at the Twin Lakes Library System and I use they them pronouns. This is our first crafting program of the Summer Reading Club, and what we're going to be making today is a hemp bracelet. So I'm going to walk you through that, and then there will also be some instructions linked to this video in case you need some more guidance. But what you'll need for our craft today is you'll need hemp. So got a piece here. You'll need some tape and some scissors, and you will need some beads. So for this I used glass beads, but you could use plastic beads. You could make your own beads. A little while ago I did a video on salt dough crafts, and if you go to YouTube you can find tutorials on how to make some beads out of salt dough. And yeah, there's other kinds of beads you can also make at home. Beads are not a requirement. If you just want to make this without beads, you can do that. And also, if you pick up a craft supply bag from the library, there are some materials in there to make necklaces or bracelets or what have you. So again, there's 20 craft supply bags. You can go by the Mary Vinson. The drive-thru is open now, Monday through Saturday from 10 to 2. And if you ask for a bag, they will give it to you. But remember, you have to be a teenager to get one of those bags. All right, so our craft is inspired by the Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan. And if you are completing our Teens Virtual Program Challenge in Beanstack, your activation code is Rick Riordan. That's what you'll want to write down and put into the video to complete the activity and earn a ticket. So if you've not read the books, I'll kind of talk about them as we go along. But one of the things is in the books is that the campers at Camp Half-Blood, each year they get a special bead to put on their necklace. And so I thought, that's cool, let's do that. Except I'm making a bracelet because necklaces take more materials and they take more time. So I figured, we'll do it this way. And so we're going to be doing some braiding, which I'll show you how to do. But you know what? If you just want to skip that and just string some beads on hemp or some other material, you can do that as well. But yeah, we'll get started. So first of all, if you have hemp, that's recommended for this craft, you will want to measure out a length base. So for this, I kind of had a big piece of hemp and I wrapped it around my wrist to see where I needed to cut it. And then I also have some extra at the end. You want to leave maybe an inch or two to kind of give yourself some leeway. But if you're doing it around your neck, try and get that length right. So once you have you've got your middle, this is the piece that's going to go in the middle of your bracelet or your necklace. And then you want 2 longer pieces. And so what I did is, I had a long piece of hemp, and I kind of brought it up to here, saw where this little shorter piece ended, kept my finger there, and what I did is I measured out a length that was 4 times as long as that short length. So I did 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is only 3 times as long. We'll see how this goes. But you want your 2 longer pieces to be about 4 times the length of your middle short piece, because you'll be braiding with these. So to get started, we're going to make a loop at this end. So I'm got a little loop here. And then hopefully y'all can see this. Got the loop. I'm gonna do this other loop around here. It's always hard to kind of figure out how to show this on the camera. Let's see. Okay. So, pulling this through. So I'm leaving about that much at the top. Again, I'm sorry if this isn't very clear, but I kind of made 2 loops. And so this, you want to leave this part open because it's kind of going to act as the clasp for your bracelet or necklace. Okay, so this is like one end. On the other end, you know what? Nope, it's okay. We're doing it right. Okay, so we're also going to take these 2 pieces. So you want them to, I'm going to pull them up a little bit actually. And we're going to tie this together. So you got longs on each side. Gonna knot this. And I would say, like, if you're not really following this, again, watch some other instructional videos. But yeah, read the instructions that I'm gonna post, because sometimes like it's hard to show things. This is kind of a really messy knot at the end, but that's okay. I'm gonna clean this up at the end of this video so it looks a little bit better. But so you've got your middle piece, your longer piece, and now I'm gonna bring the camera down to show you guys how to braid this. So first of all, you want to tape this end down to like hold it into place. Okay, so then what you do is you're going to make a loop. So the loop goes over the top of your middle string, so it's crossing over. Then this side is going to go under here and through this loop, like this. So you're pulling it, then you pull both strands to the top, and you want it to be good and tight. So you make a loop that crosses over. So it's like you do it on one side, then you do it on the other side. So we're doing it on the other side. Loop that crosses over the middle. Then you take this end, opposite end, and it crosses under this intersection of both of them. So it crosses under there, comes up into this loop, and you pull it. And tighten it. Then other side, you do a loop. Then this goes under and up into the loop, and you pull. I learned how to do this when I was in summer camp as a kid, and I never forgot how to do it. Probably because we did this for hours. Just became like muscle memory. And you want to try to remember which side you did the loop on. Because if you do it, you can make your bracelet like braid twist. If you do it like the same loop on the same side, I guess it'll kind of like make your bracelet twist, which, maybe you want that, maybe you don't. So I'm going to do a few more braids, and then we're going to add our beads. I'm realizing that this is a very small bracelet. But if you haven't read the Percy Jackson series, it's 5 books. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. It's recommended for ages 10 and up. And if you read it, it does count for the Teen Summer Reading Club Challenge. And the books follow Percy Jackson, who is a demigod, so the child of a god and a human. And not to really spoil things, but he ends up going to a place called Camp Half-Blood, which is a training ground for demigods. And while he's there, each year that the demigods are there, they earn a bead for their necklace, and it kind of the bead sort of reflects things that they've accomplished that year. So I found this really cool Instructables article about making a Camp Half-Blood necklace. And, the beads I made are based off of the ones in that article. So I'm going to show those to you all. Again, these are just glass beads that I painted. So this yellow one has a trident. These are kind of hard to see because I painted the beads and then I colored on them with Sharpie. This one you probably can't tell. That's supposed to be a pine tree. This one is a bow and arrow. This one is a mess. It's supposed to be a labyrinth, and it's really hard to tell. I would probably paint these two. Oh gosh, this one is supposed to be the Empire State Building. It kind of looks like a birthday cake, but. And then this one is the Camp Half-Blood initials. So again, you can make the beads however you want. Those are just the ones that I saw in the article. So what you do to add a bead, you just string it on. And then you do a loop around it. So I think the last loop I did was on this side, so we're going to do the loop this way. So just do a loop. And then you're crossing under, going up, pulling that tight. And then I'll do like a couple braids, like a couple knots. Again, I might have made this bracelet too short. So, do one more. Actually, I think one is good. And then we'll add like our next bead. And do a loop. So you don't have to do beads. If you just wanted to make like a regular hemp necklace, you could just skip the bead parts if you wanted. But wanted to do a Percy Jackson craft, so this is what we're doing. Okay, then we'll add our next one. And I don't know if y'all heard, I think the books, so they originally made into like 2 movies, and you know, there's, I think a lot of fans of the books don't really like the movie adaptations, like they're not really faithful to the books. Anyways, Rick Riordan is currently working, I think, to make them, I can't remember if it's if it's a TV series or a movie. I think it's a series. But he's going to be heavily involved with this new, like, reboot. And he's going to be, like, writing the script. So everyone is pretty excited about that. Because, you know, it's like when you love a book, you really want to see it done right. Alright, so we're adding this last bead. We have very little room left, but I think we can do this. You know what, I might have to leave off this last bead because we only have about this much material left. I should have measured better, y'all. I can't remember if I've said this already, but if I didn't, the Percy Jackson series, you can find it on Hoopla and RBDigital and eReadKids. So, you know, any one of those. You can also check them out from the library now that we are open and doing checkouts through the drive-thru. Like, you can put a hold on the books, so you can either do that online through your account, you could call us, you could do a live chat with us, and then, you know, whenever whoever's picking up the books, they can come get them from the library. And there's a couple, like, supplementary books that are online, like Percy Jackson's Greek Gods and Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes that you could check out. Alright, let me, getting down to the wire here. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. But So this technique of, I guess, braiding that we're doing, I'm running out. You can also do it if you're like making survival bracelets with like paracord. You can also use this type of braiding. I might be about at the end as far as like how many more I can do. Alright, so now we're going to knot this end. So, I'm going to do another one. Alright, now I'm just going to trim this. Okay. Alright, and then this will hook into here. This is a tiny bracelet. It's no way it's going to fit me or anyone but like a child. So again, I would just encourage you to do a better job at measuring than I did. This is so small. You know, this could be a keychain, a little thing to hang off of my book bag. But yeah, that is the craft. So when you're doing it, just be sure to do a better job at measuring than I did, but that hopefully you can make something like this. And if you do, let us know. You can comment on the video, give us a like, and yeah, that's all. And hopefully I will see you Friday for a slice of life. I'm going to be talking about storytelling. And yeah, keep reading, y'all. Bye.